Welcome to the Treasured Page. I'm Melanie and this is our quiet crafting space. And today I want to welcome you all to come and have a look at some more ideas at the Treasured Page that I'd like to share with you on the theme of clusters and scrap busting. But if you're not familiar with what a cluster is because you're just getting into a junk journal or why we would need them, I do have some other videos where I've used the scrap clusters, which is a collection of pieces of paper stacked on top of one another, essentially in a jaunty angle, but it could be lined up as well. And they embellish a page and they can be glued down directly just to jazz up a page journal, to give a bit of interest and perhaps a spark of inspiration if you like writing in your journal, or if you want to create a theme, a botanical theme. Maybe you'd like something with flowers, florals, nature. I seem to have quite a few insects going on at the moment, but that all adds to the interest that you might want to bring to your journal, particularly if you're doing a themed one. You know, this one's even a double cluster because I did these clustery, this master board of clusters, you may have seen that, and then I've added a little element onto another bigger cluster, so the whole thing's just one big collection of scraps of paper. Every piece of paper is interesting, it's got something about it. It's either a nicer texture or a pattern, a pop of colour. This one's got fabric scrap on it, and this one's got treasure paper such as vintage ephemera with a stamp there, postage stamp. And then you can ink or not ink, you can add your own twists to that. But what I was just doing was sitting here playing with some scraps of paper. I think we've done a video, you may have seen my scrap sorting, but I've taken it to another level of organisation, and I've got strips of plain, I've got more office type of college paper and map, so more official but still neutral. I've got browns, packaging paper, straw paper, tea stained, coffee dyed, you name it, spice dyed papers. I've got videos of all of that. Have a look at that in my playlist. So those are browns, they're all neutrals, browns, officey strips. I've got plain neutrals, and then I've got handmade papers, which are my textured papers, and I love to use those as well. So that's all the scraps in a more organised bundles, which I'm using to pull from. I usually put those on the bottom of, you know, something plain would go on the bottom, and then I'd build up to more interesting things on the top. So here I've got papers that I have embellished. Maybe they've been flicked with paint, or they've got a stamp on them, something that where I've altered them in some way through my creativity. And those are those papers. And then I've got book pages, vintage bits, sheet music, dictionary ledger, and all of that sort of collecting things. And then I've got another one which has lost itself. Oh no, here. These are then building up to more interesting pieces and colourful bits and bobs, where I've got scrapbooking paper, I've got digital kits there. I don't know what that goes with that, I think. And then one other which has completely got itself lost, we'll find it I'm sure, is my world papers with lots of different papers from around the world. So for instance, I had a bit here, well there's more strips, this bit here is from Italy, so that would be a world paper. And I've got, I might have pulled it out because it was, oh here we go, I actually didn't have very many. So I have got lots obviously, but I just want to work with a small amount, otherwise get overwhelmed. So we've got Japanese paper, Italian paper, and Chinese paper. So that's what I'm calling my world papers, around the world papers. And then I have fabric scraps as well, so you can find fabric scraps. So we're dealing with scraps again. Is my favourite thing to do when I'm feeling a little bit uninspired. I tend to just get the scraps out and start playing. So you'll need scraps and some glue. Scraps, glue, maybe a tearing ruler, but probably you'll get away with just tearing it. And this is what I came up with. It's not finished, but what I just sat here doing was fanning out the scraps, the strip scraps, in a vertical manner, and I thought, oh, doesn't that look like plumage? You know, imagine that was feathers. Doesn't that look like a plume on a cap, on a hat or something? And I thought if I could just keep building up with a few bits here and there, I think that's just quite interesting as a little idea. And then add a scrap of fabric, and ta-da! That could look very nice on a tag, or a page, or a pocket, or a glassine bag. Well, actually a glassine bag, that would look nice. Find one in a minute. And or maybe something more neutral, or one of my maps. And that's what I thought we'd do. Okay, so strips of scraps, and let's see where this idea is. Just a very basic, simple idea of where that might take us, and let's see if we can expand on that. I might glue that down. So you probably, if you've got fabric, you might want a stronger glue. You could even put a stitch in there. You could put a button on there to bring them all together. Some little focal point. But because that bit is fabric, I'm using Fabri-tac here, and I'm just going to glue that bit on there. I don't need Fabri-tac for the rest of it, but all that was a little bit of linen with one straight stitch sewn down it to bring in that extra vertical line, so it almost looks like there's two things there. If I put a bit more up here, that will anchor. Okay, and then let's put it on its side. And then a little bit of book page. Let's go for something more runny and less expensive. I only really want to be using the Fabri-tac for fabric. And you don't stick it all the way down. You want these bits able to pop up or curl up. That bit I was going to put in there, so we just tuck the can't pick it up. There we go. Put that in there. Does that work? Come down a bit on that. On top there. Fine. Then I can bend it back, pop in a bit more glue, and then stick that enough so that that just curls. And that's the idea there. And then I think what I'd do is I'd put my scrap of fabric, which is a Sari silk, very old, very vintage. I'm going to try and make up some scrap bags of this lovely fabric, because I've got lots of little fluffy bits, and they're all variations of colour, and some have got patterns on them, and I'll try and showcase that a bit better and see if I can make scrap bags available for anybody who'd like these sort of. Let's stick it on and then you can see what I'm getting at. I think we'll need to do something about the bottom. So we could have something else down there. I'm not a big bow fan, but that actually works very nicely. I might even dye that. You could dye it. Let's see if we can dye that. Or do I want to? I think the red does enough there, so I'll leave that one, but maybe we'll dye the next one. And Fabri-tac just to put the bow down. It could be a flower, couldn't it? It could be anything. Hang on. So there we go. So grab the things, hot cup of tea or coffee or a cold drink, depending on the weather. I'm in my cardigan today. It is spring, but you wouldn't notice. It's quite chilly today. And we're making vertical scrap clusters. Plumes. Cluster plumes. Do I want something else off the side there? I think that's fine. Let's do another one. That was fun. That was fun. Oh, how is everybody? So, have you managed to get yourself a quiet crafting space? Have you been having a go at some of the things? And let me know. Let me know what you're finding inspiring. Do you like longer videos, shorter videos? What works for you? Do you like crafting along? Do you just listen? Do you watch and listen? Get ideas? Look at all these. Aren't they lovely? It's nice to just chuck them on the table and then just see, oh, you know, what pops up, and then I can pull from here for the top layers for more colour. So at the weekend I did a little scrap sort out, and I put some longer pieces in here, so I could just pull out some bits here. So you want a variety of interesting bits. So although I've separated everything out here, really you want one of each to make these clusters fun. There's another bit there. Let's go with this. Don't think I want that. I want to just keep things simple. So I'll just grab the ones I like. I don't know how long I'm going to want them. If I've got a straight edge, see I've got a rough edge there, that's where it's just been torn with a tearing ruler, a metal ruler, and then this one's rough, so, and then I've got the straight factory edge there. I don't want that, so I'm going to turn that round. I'll have the nice edge showing, and then I'll cover it up with the raw edge of that other scrap there, and instantly that's quite an interesting look. So there we go, and just sort of have a play picking up the scraps, seeing what works and what doesn't. Try and hide the straight edges. Maybe something with a colour, bringing it in, gathering it up. And what's this one? I think these could come together quite quickly, guys. I think you could make a nice bundle of these to have on hand, just to decorate something in the journal, especially if you're doing a themed one. No, I think I want a thicker one behind there. Something with a bit of interest. Now bring that in. What's that? Let's go. Get it the right way up. Tear it off at the top. Oh, you might want your ink. These are my domed, the domed dauber. Brilliant. Really getting on with that. Perhaps that should come in at the back. Do you see how that could come together? And then you just rip off at the bottom. Well, let's rip off that bit. We know we don't want that. And then, okay, so that's quite good. That is a quite good base. Now, the other thing we could go in for is something from nature. So you could find some leaves in the garden and dry them. I've got some let's get the Russells out of the way here. I've got skeleton leaf here, so I might want to put, oh yes, that isn't that nice. That's nice. That's the, oh, I like that very much. Right, good. Did I want a more colourful? This is a bit of magazine. Yes, look at that at the back. Let's do that. And then we just finish it off with something down the bottom. So I will glue it with something that's going to hold. I've got this Cosmic Shimmer glitter glue. So start at the back. You can, if you've got dexterity skills, you can try and do it. Oh, hang on, let's get one. Oh, the pin's gone all yucky. Let's get one that works. Let's go back to this one. So we're using this Collall, I don't know how to pronounce it. It slips and slides, that's the only thing, but it does stick eventually, and when it does, it's really good. So I'm just going through the layers, popping a little bit of glue. That one came off. Maybe like that. Oh, it's good, isn't it? It's very relaxing. You could pretend you're having a game of cards and you're fanning out the cards. Just try and manipulate them all into the right order. Not helped with the sticky glue on my thumb. Go in. Where were you? I'm roughly getting them the same sort of length at the top. Get there in a minute. Okay, that's fine. And then just want to make sure my leaf gets caught in. And then you can just do a bit at the bottom. Squash it all down. Let's give it a minute. We'll put Grandma's paperweight on there. She can live there, the swan. And I'll just clear the decks a bit. Well, I won't actually. I'll just push them out of my way, and then I can have another go because this is fun. Let's get rid of all of these others. Definitely something in just limiting your scraps, sorting them out, and just if you've got a massive box that you have all your scraps in, that's completely fine, but just pull some of them out, like a handful, and go with that. Now then I want something at the front that's going to bring it all together like I had before, which could be a button. That could be a button. So let's have a little look. We want to be very careful not to make it too thick. And it probably wants to have something a little bit more colourful. That's nice. Like a brighter one. Not sure if, yeah, like that, but it wouldn't work. That's one idea. Or you could make your own by cutting circles out from paper and just having a dot. That makes it incredibly flat for the journal. That would be great. We could take a bit of brighter paper and do a strip like that and then a bow on the top or something, so that could work. You could cut the bottom bits off. I could make a series of these. Let's just see what we like, and then you know, the ones that you like, you can have a go at, and then I've already done it for you, and you haven't got to waste your time, because you can see, oh no, I didn't like that. What would be best is this, and you'll come up with something nicer, because it will be yours, and you'll like it. But the concept is here. It's just an idea for you to take away and make your own. That's all I'm doing. I'm just the catalyst for your own creativity, whilst I'm also exploring mine. I'm going to go with a Fabri-tac again, I think, because that was a thicker piece of card, which will hold that all down nicely. Let's clear up. Can't bear to work in a muddle. I mean, everything else is a muddle, but what you see is not a muddle. And as long as I've got a little bit of space around the project, I can calm down and work within my 12 by 12 space as everything comes crashing in at the sides. Oh, it's good to make time for you. So I had a walk around the garden this morning, which sounds like a big adventure. It's not that big. I just had a look at the flowers. I told you at the weekend that I was very excited because a peony flower was appearing, and I don't know what colour it is, but I've got a sneaking suspicion that it could be pink, because some of it was starting to break through the little outer green covering, and I could see some petals. So I will leave a picture when we get to see that. I really hope that comes out. In fact, it could even be that colour. Could be. Have no idea. And right, let's see what it looks like without the bottom bit. Actually, let's tear it first. Let's not be too hasty. Right, so that's a torn bottom. Let's remove those. Paper bits like that, as small as that, I don't keep. I do draw the line unless there's something really special about it. They go in the compost, and then that composts down and helps my garden to grow. Maybe that could have had a stamp or something on it, or something else could be popped behind it. What else? The bow. Maybe a little bow up the top so you can still see that bit down the bottom, or maybe you want to cover that up, or maybe that just gets tucked into something and you can keep going with the fan, couldn't you? You could have more things. More things. How about more textured things? Oh gosh, it actually looks really nice on a textured background and stuck down like that, and then that becomes something else, part of a booklet or a card, or you know, that's a nice embellishment. It's very flat, so it's a really good idea to have for something inside the journal. Well, I don't think we need to fuss. I think it's totally fine as it is. Where's the other one gone? Don't know. That's lost itself. Alright, well anyway, that'll come back in a minute. And should we glue that on? I was going to dye it. I don't know. I think they're quite nice. These are cream ones just from the local craft shop. I never know what to do with them, so it's quite nice to find a home. They do add a wee bit of bulk with the knot in the middle of the bow. Where are we going with it? Down there? Let's have it down there. No, I don't like that line. Oh dear, what do we do? What do we do about that? Oh, here's the other one. Oh, it had a bit of fabric, so how about a bit of something else? A little something, here we go. Little something. Or a little scrunched up bit of, that is tracing paper scrunched up when it just got caught up when it was dyeing it with tea. Yeah, I mean that would work, wouldn't it? What else could be nice is some blue. Where did that come from? That's beautiful. How about that? Sari silk offcut. Just a tatty bit of something to go on there. Glue is doing its volcano thing. There we go. It still wants something. One of these little Tim Holtz. Oh, how about a little label? Oh, now we. Oh, yes, that's a great option. A little tinly tiny label. We could try one of these little mushrooms. I've still got my poorly finger. Thank you for all your comments about I hope I heal and all these lovely things. I hadn't even imagined for a minute that you would wish me well on healing my finger, so I'm absolutely touched and honoured that you would say that. It's beautiful. There I am apologising for ruining your viewing pleasure with my poorly finger, and you're coming back with beautiful comments, and I just, oh, I can't thank you enough. So it's lovely. Do you see? Just adding little bits in there. I'm covering up that colour now, which I don't suppose matters. Well, that could go that way. That could go that way. Or we just have a label. Maybe. Options, lots of things. Bit of lace. Oh, lace would look nice, wouldn't it? Oh gosh. Well, there we go. There's loads of ideas. I mean, they don't look like much at the moment, but on a page, they will look fabulous. Hang on. Button. See? If we get the right colour button, something bright. That's made out of paper. We'll do that next time. Oh, or a brad. A brad. Have I got one? Have I got one? Have I? I forgot under here. Hang on. Excuse me, coming through. Gosh. Oh, jewellery. We could dingle jangle jewellery off of it. Gosh, it's all happening. Okay, what's in here? Oh, brads, look. I have got some. Okay. Oh, tea stamped paper. Looks nice. Tim Holtz. Oh no, not him. Little labels. This is where everything went. That's pretty. Endless possibilities. I like that, that's nice. Very good. Or a posh brad. Oh my gosh, wow. Look at that. Oh, that is great. You could put on a bit of broken jewellery, like an old earring. Bling, that's what it wants, bling. Look, you could have Christmas ones in the future when you want Christmas. Is this Christmas? Oh, no, that's not Christmas. Could be. Something like that. Focal point. Bit of bling. Button. Some form. Well, anyway, I like this. I'm going with this. Do I like that? Well, that's, you know, if I had more lace, I'd use that one. What else have I got? Don't even know where they go. Look, the button. So they're reminiscent of a beret worn maybe in Scotland, or for hunting purposes, or for the military, where they had these plumes, the feathers. So it's a plume cluster. You can hang things off them. You could make it really smart with a proper band, look a bit like leather, and then dingle something off of it. Dingle, dangle, dingle, dangle. That one, I'm having that one. I never use these things. These special things are ridiculous. Never get used. Let's use them. Use the things. Use it up. Find the things if you can find the things. First you've got to find the things, then you use the things. So that one I think was done. That, because it got the fluffy fabric, was great. This has got the fluffy fabric, but it's not as fluffy as the other one, so we're going to put this on here. You need probably something to just poke through. If you've got a pokey tool or a WL, awl. This is what you need for your book binding. Don't need it. You could use an ice pick, you could use a needle, you could use something sharp from the kitchen, like a skewer, but you could use the proper tool. Do I like that now? I mean, I do, that's fine, isn't it? Bit big, perhaps. You get the idea though. And then it's a split pin at the back, or a brad, whatever you call them wherever you're from, but I'm quite pleased with that. And that one. So yeah, we need to expand on that idea, because that's a bit different, isn't it? And think of all the different colours we could do. We could have really fancy ones. Look at this, I've got this lovely Sari silk. How about we make a really fun one with all the different fabrics, and we just back them onto scraps? Yes, let's do that. I like that. So how long are these? So they're that length. Okay, so we're going to say, what's that, 2 inches? What do we think? 2 inches, 2.5 inches, 3 inches. 3 inches, okay. 3 inches. And for this we're going to have to chop it up, because I'm going to need different colours. I've got some more over here, hang on. Let's have that bit and a green. We're not measuring it now. Boring. Let's just choose some pretty scrappy bits. That's probably enough for now. Did I want that lovely purple? Yes, I do want the lovely purple. Look, another scrap for another day. Bit of lace? Maybe. Right. Have I lost you? Are you still with me? Are you still... Have I gone bonkers? Probably. Okay, scraps. Let's put this down with Fabri-tac. First of all, I need the glue to run to the end, and think about the colour placement. Maybe I will, maybe I won't. Oh, where did you become? Okay. Right, so I've got 3 there, so let's just do it. let's just do it. So strip of glue on each. Whoops, be careful if you've got fragile pieces of paper, because they could rip and this could tear it, but hopefully the fabric will have some I don't like that one. That one's wants a different colour. Go that way with it. The scrap will just give it a little bit more control, won't it? Don't know what I'm talking about. I do know what I mean. The scrap will give some strength to the project so that you are no longer dealing with flippy floppy bits of fabric. You have some sturdy base to them. Does that work? Maybe it does, maybe it doesn't. Maybe we just need to put them on there. Quite like that. And then maybe the yellow over this way, or the yellow there, or the yellow there. Another one. Another scrap. Wearing my orange cardigan today. It's an orange sort of a day. Quite bulky. So yeah, you have to think about that. That's quite bulky. So that could be something that goes on top of something. I know this is a good idea. I feel it's a good idea. I just can't get it to work as a good idea. So I'm not going to talk for a moment while I just engage my brain. My creative mind has come up with this, so it just now needs to sort it out. That's better. That may be better to just not have those crazy colours at the back. We can now bring colour in the front. Let's just do it. Less thinking, more doing. This definitely wanted a backing. It's falling to pieces. It's that old. There we are. Right, happy with that. How do I now get that to start? I could put a bit of... Oh, we've lost one. I could put a band across to keep them all together, but I'm just going to get a bit of glue, squash it all together. There we are. And then I can go in at the top. Now that I've got the bottom anchored, that's not going anywhere. So we just quickly go like that. Oop. Did that do anything? Can't see. Can you see? Who can see? Who knows what's happening? It's all just a play. These want to be there. Right, good. Well, that's pretty on its own, isn't it? Something on the edge there. Don't like that white edge, so we'll have to sort that out. Maybe the yellow there. Yeah, and maybe the orange on that side. Oh, or in the middle. Okay, yellow on that, or orange on that side. Well, that's pretty. What do you think? I don't know. Yellow on the... Does that look nice? Or does that look nice? It's like going to the opticians. Is it 1 or 2? 1 or 2? It's this one, whatever that number was. We'll do this. We will do this because this is fun. This is less fun. Glue not coming out. So in your quiet crafting space, try and make sure everything works so it doesn't frustrate you. Make sure you've got a nice hot drink, as I've said, just something that you can, well, you don't have to have a hot drink, obviously. Have a drink. Get comfy, wear your comfy clothes. You're sitting down for a while. You don't want anything tight, you want to sit there uncomfortable. Be free and able to move as much as you can. If you start to feel a little bit uncomfortable, you can roll your shoulders and have a stretch. That's really important as well. I think we can sit here for a long time and forget to, you know, move. So, just roll your shoulders, have a stretch. So far, so good. I feel I need a shot of blue, mainly because these beautiful colours are shining out at me. So this was Sari silk sewn together. Sometimes you get lucky with sort of thing on Etsy with another seller, and you just find a perfect thing. So if I can find where I got this, I will leave a link to the seller, and I'm thinking I want a bit of this as well. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful things. Look at that. Isn't that so precious? So if you've got these in your stash as well, this is great to use up some fabric. And but it could be paper. It could be straight out of a magazine. I'll show you what I mean if I can find a magazine. Hang on. Let's put this down, we'll let that dry, and then I'll show you something else. I'm just showing off my fabrics because I love collecting fabrics. And you know, I think that this just gives you all the different ideas of what you could do. So let's leave that one to set. Have a mini clear up. Is it all messy? Side. Now, another idea while that's setting up is this came through the door. This is the sort of thing that comes through the door. We don't even buy from this. I don't think we've ever, but it's a men's magazine. But look, it's given a lot of different textures and patterns of the shirt fabric, and strips of that, for instance, totally free. This stuff's coming through the door. Have a look at the colours. Look on the shirts and things like that. All of those things could be used as patterned papers. So strips of that could become one of these clusters, and you don't have to fan them out. You could have them angled in any way you want. See, you could use, and women's clothing magazines, you get all the fabric swatches. You could just tear them, because this isn't particularly shiny paper. And then the shirts there and down here. So just have a look. Don't always go, right, we don't want that, and throw it away. Have a little look and see what's coming through your door, and then if it's no good, throw it away. Don't keep it, because you'll really end up with a very quick problem on clutter if you haven't I started to hoard everything because I could see worth and value in the junk mail that was coming through, and now I cannot keep all of it, and I recycle it or compost it. Okay, so that's great, isn't it? So the bottom bit now I feel needs to be something else. So we always go to scraps first to find the something. Gosh, why am I fluffy? This came off an old book. It's a little bit of book binding from the side, so that's kind of nice. Bit of lace to layer it. It's all about the layering. Love that. Let's do that. Just cut it off there. Haven't got anything there. Might just bring a bit down just to give me something to stick to. Do I need to? Yeah, I think I will. Just patch that bit up there. Where's the glue gone now? Tidied it away. Oh dear. Okay. Even though I might end up ripping that bit off, I just want to have something that will stick to. So on with the lace. So we just go straight over the top of the fabric, down with the lace. Now I want to just capture in all the edges of the top bits of fabric. Then we put that bit of stuff there. We'll glue directly onto that. It is sort of a fabricy tape. It's a bit that just fell off a book. Just fell off. Like that. And then we want something to embellish it. Something really good. Like a broken piece. Oh, look at this. Oh, that's very posh, isn't it? Doesn't need to be that. It could be. Oh, it could be like a charm. That's pretty. Could sew on a charm. So you could have that. Or it could be the button idea. But let's tidy up that and that. Yep. Then you could put something big like a fussy cut butterfly. Why not? You know, always comes to the rescue. A fussy cut butterfly. Straight down on a page, and that could become a tuck in a book. Absolutely fantastic. Or you could go in with your clusters from other projects and just take that to a whole other place. Something, doesn't it? It wants something. Flower? Oh gosh. Wow. More paper from, no, I don't know. Oh, this bit of trim has been kicking about here for weeks. Nope. So many options. Just, there we go. All of it. How about all of it? All of the above. More is more, remember? Sometimes more is more. Okay guys, there we go. I shall do some pictures at the end, and let's just lay down what we've got so far. 3 options there. Fun. Absolutely fun. Tuck. Do you see? Great way to use your fabrics. Great way to use your scraps. Just adds a little something. Could embellish a pocket. See, that's how we use a cluster up there. Could just go, it could go anywhere, couldn't it? Okay, very nice. So there we are. That is the plumed clusters that I think you will enjoy doing. I've had great fun with that today. So if you had some inspiration from this project, it comes together very quickly. It uses up your scraps. You don't have to use anything that you haven't got. You literally find the things amongst your stash of stuff, and have a look to old clothing that you would otherwise be recycling. Maybe you've got something with rips in it, children's clothes that they've grown out of, you can't pass them on because they're stained, that kind of thing. Especially some of the smaller children's clothes where they've got the embellishments, where they've got the pretty applique, that could be cool, little scraps of that. So there's just some ideas there, but in a different way. The lovely fan, the plume, the hat plume that would go on a berry, on a Scottish berry, is the inspiration for these. And if you found value here, please like and subscribe, share, let me know you care by leaving a comment. Let me know if you prefer longer videos, shorter videos, and I will leave a picture of my peony progress as it's growing in the garden. Above all else guys, just slow down and make some crafting time for you. Bye bye now.